Paperclip came out about 45 days ago. That was in early March 2026, and it started taking over the internet around AI agents. And I'm gonna share with you now what I found out by using it. What are my honest thoughts about it? So Paperclip is a tool that initially they were promising that this might be the first tool that will enable a zero employee company, and that's because it's using basically AI agents. Now looking at the website now, I see that it now says the human control plane for AI labor, and I think that a zero employee company is a huge promise, and I don't think we're there yet. Maybe I'm wrong, but the reason why I'm saying it is because if there is a business, there is probably some sort of communication with clients, and I don't see how an AI agent can completely take over that task. Now, let's look at the website real quick, and then I'm going to give you a walkthrough of what that tool looks like, how it works, how you can set it up for yourself, and maybe you can start experimenting. Now, depending on your business, you have to figure out to what extent you can use it, because at some point it might get counterproductive, and this is something that I really want to drive home here. It's super important, and to always keep in mind a couple of things. One is always keep in mind what is the value that you provide to the other end of your business, your clients. Now, it's very easy, and trust me, I'm the same way. I'm always passionate about new tools, new AI possibilities and all of that, and I like to explore things like that, but you have to be mindful of your time and your focus, right? Because things come out every week, every day, every month, but that doesn't mean that they are 100% functional, and it's easy to switch tools all the time. So it's very easy to end in a analysis paralysis type of thing, where you get super unproductive, focusing on the wrong things and neglecting completely the things that drive revenue for your business and your clients. And I'm saying this because there is so much noise out there, and it's super hard to pinpoint what is completely noise and you should ignore it, and what you should maybe put attention to it. There are many tools that do similar things. Now Claude is blowing up as well, but there's a quote that I saw from another creator which I really loved, and I wish it was mine, who said, just because AI can do something doesn't mean that you should, right? So this is something like an important reminder. Write it somewhere on a post-it note, put it on your computer so you can see it, because it's very easy to get distracted and not be productive. Now, that being said, let's dive into this tool so we can explore it together and figure out what this is, okay? So we can see here it says the human control plane for AI labor, hire AI employees, set goals, automate jobs, and your business runs itself. We'll dive into how you can start using it, and let's look at what this website shows. Everything you need to run an autonomous company, build your agent, goal alignment, heartbeats, multi-company ticket system, because basically you can have more than one companies in that tool. I'll show you this in a second. Cost control, which I like. Org chart is cool as well. And here it says build your own agent, and basically what it shows here is basically how it works. In a nutshell, you have a team that you can build however you like, and you can talk to any team member, right? But from what I'm seeing, most people, what they do is they talk to the CEO or the first agent, and that agent delivers the instruction to the relevant, let's say, employees, AI agents, to complete the task. So you can see here basically how it works. Now, one other thing to mention here is that this natively runs locally on your terminal, but there are ways to put this in the cloud. So I'll show you that later on as well. So here you can see how you can set a goal, and from there you have tasks and agent goals and project goals, agent goals, and then tasks. Heartbeat is basically when you are not using your computer and then you get in the Paperclip account, so then it can continue from where it left it, and it can continue tasks. You can check what needs to be done. For example, if I have a weekly or let's say a daily tasks, I have set it to run every day at 7 a.m., but I get it in Paperclip at 9 a.m., then it will check that, there's a task at 7 a.m., so I should do this now, right? Because now I saw what I had to do. So basically it's every time the agent wakes up, it can see what are the tasks that it had to do. Here, this is another thing that I like. So when you build different agents, you give them specific instructions, specific tools, skills, everything that they need to do. and you can see separately how much they cost you. So you look at it as a payroll, right? And if you look at it this way, then it's extremely cheap. And you can do some cool things, and like everything, it's garbage in, garbage out, right? So if your instructions are weak and you don't have proper skills and you haven't like quote trained them enough, then it's not gonna do much and you're gonna end up wasting your time and money. So what I mean by that is, if you don't have full clarity on your business and your processes and how you do things right now, don't expect your AI agents to tell you how to do things and how to do them better. So it's very important to keep that in mind and go into any tool for that matter, having full knowledge on what you want, what is the exact outcome and how you want it to be delivered, right? So if I say, create me like email cold outreach campaign, right, to help me get clients, so get me leads, get me whatever, the copy of the email and all that stuff, like there's nothing there, there's no context, okay? So you have to give it like what's the exact audience, what is the goal of the campaign, is it to book a call, is it to deliver some lead magnet, where do you get those leads? And I did it myself, like I tried using, for example, Instantly, right? And I said, here's who I help, here's like the, where I get leads from, here's how to scrape those leads, and I only didn't give it my card, all right, so it doesn't do anything crazy, and here's like the previous campaigns, like go read them, go analyze them. So I had about like 20 or 30 campaigns that I had run in the past, and I said analyze all of them, find like the pros and cons, what worked, what didn't work, give me some data. And it said, well, the campaigns that you did with this country and this audience, this was better, this was worse, whatever. I gave it data of what happened, like who converted and all that stuff. And then I said, okay, using the data, build a new campaign, here's where you can get leads from, here's the tool to use, here's the API, here's everything. And it did it, which was pretty cool. So let's continue here. Now it's one deployment, many companies. I told you about this. So within the same Paperclip account, you can have more than one companies, right? So that's pretty cool as well. Here you give tasks to the agents, which you can track as well. You can see where it gets stuck, and it's pretty cool also because you can monitor basically what the agents are doing. And sometimes, for example, in my case, I was looking at I gave like instruction to the CEO, then talk to the CMO, for example, and then I could see the two talking about to each other about myself. It's like, okay, there's this information missing from Konstantinos, and I guess he means that, but it's not very clear. And I was like, okay, like I see them two talking about myself, so I should be more clear about my instructions. Let's look at what else it has. You're the board, approve hires. So another thing which is pretty cool is that you can have you during onboarding, which I'll show you right away, you create your first agent, and from there you can have this agent hire other agents. So let's say you start with the CEO and you say, hey, we need, let's start by working on a marketing team. Hire like a YouTube strategist, right? And this is the goal, I want to grow to like 100,000 subscribers. Help me out here to build this team and tell me what you think we need to create this team. Maybe you need like a script writer, or maybe you need like an idea generation agent or whatever, or a research agent, like to research competitors and like look at their statistics and like their growth and what they do, right? And what is viral during this time and all of that. So you can definitely do that, and then the CEO will create, I guess, like these agents will make it seem like it's a hire, and they will say, hey, this is what I made, approve it or not approve it, and it goes from there. So let's dive in actually here. I think we went through quite enough here. So the way to set it up is you have to run a command in your terminal, and it's this command right here. So you have to copy that, and then you have to open your terminal. I'm opening up my terminal and I'm running this command. I go yes, probably there's like an update in the Paperclip because I have run it again, and I didn't have that before, so I guess there's some kind of update. Okay, so apply pending migrations. Let's do yes. I'm not sure if you will see it on your end. Okay, so now it worked. So you can see here the dashboard, and you can see everything that is going on over here. So when you run the command, you'll be led to this page. This is where you're doing the onboarding. So you have to do the company name. Now I asked Claude to give me a random company name, and the mission goal. So we have Nimbus Fright, and then we have a goal here. We click next. Here we create our first agent. We're gonna go with CEO. I'm gonna select the Claude code. Here I'm gonna choose model Claude Sonnet 4.6. And here this is where we are checking that Claude is installed already in your computer and it finds the CLI. So I'm gonna test it now, and you're gonna see that it passed. Okay, so we have it here. Next, and here we give it a task. So based on the, you basically give your agent a small task to start with. This can be like hiring somebody and working towards a goal. All right, so let's look at, we're gonna work on some marketing stuff here. So I'm gonna say hire a CMO to run all our content on YouTube. Right, hiring plan, hire a CMO. Let's keep it as is for now for the sake of this demo. So we're gonna click next. And here we have ready to launch, everything is set up. We have Nimbus Freight, company, CEO, hire CMO. This is the first task that we have. And we're gonna create an open issue. Now here, one thing real quick that we have to look at is we have to have the Claude API, and we're gonna get some tokens for Claude. So you go to platform.claude.com/settings. Here you can get some credits. So we're gonna get some credits real quick. Okay, so we are here in our new dashboard. You can have, let's do light for now. Let's walk you through what we have here. So here we have new issue. This is basically when we are giving a task to our agents. You can select, let's say for example, hire like a YouTube content strategist, and here you can talk to the CEO or whoever else, and then you select the project as well that you have. You add description, more details, and then you create it, and you create a task, and they start working on it. Here we see that the agent, the CEO, went ahead and found, like let's say a CMO, like we asked during the onboarding. So we can click here and we can see hire agent CMO, owns all content strategy and production for YouTube channel, responsible for content calendar, video ideation, SEO optimization, audience growth, blah, blah, all that is here. And here we can basically approve it or not. If I go to the org chart, we can see it here. We have CEO and CMO. And then I can either approve it or reject it. So I'm gonna approve it for now. So that is approve. Okay, cool. So now that is done. So we officially have a CMO now. And this is this is the task that we have here, hire CMO around content on YouTube. Okay, I believe this task is completed. So here we have the dashboard. We can see everything that is happening, the tasks that are in progress, the agents that we have enabled, pending approvals, things that you have to approve to check. Okay, you're acting as the board, you're being treated as the board. You can see sometimes that this says, I'll ask the board for XYZ, it means yourself. Inbox, you can see the things that are happening basically. Wherever you see this kind of circle, this is the task that you have. The issues, all right, so this is like the tasks that are created. So you see now the first task is this, hire a CMO to run all content on YouTube. And another task was created, automatically. You see document YouTube video production workflow, build 4-week YouTube content calendar, define. So you see now the CMO already started creating tasks and doing their thing, which I didn't tell it what to do. And it starts produce first YouTube video content brief, is doing all sorts of things. Now, I don't think that will be like accurate at all because I haven't given it much instructions. So this task is done. You see now it got completed. Which is hire CMO, and now some other tasks have started, which is from the CMO. So I can see here, produce first YouTube video content brief. It says using the challenge strategy and content calendar, write a fully scoped brief for the first video to be produced, include blah, 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 all these things. We can see more details, and in every task you can see what is happening, what is the activity, and what are the things that are happening in each task. So here we have routines, which is basically like a recurring tasks. Then we have goals. Okay, so now we have this goal that I don't even know what it is. I took it from Claude for the sake of this demo. Then we have the projects. We have the agent, CEO, and CMO. Then we have the org chart where we can see what is happening. We have the skills that we can upload here, different skills for the different agents or across the company in general. So it can be agent specific or company specific. Then we have the cost, which I like looking at. So you can see what have you spent in running those agents across the board. Then you have the activity, everything is happening. You can see here the activity with everything. Then you have the settings. Here you can put like, I don't know, your logo, your colors, all that stuff, like I have here in mine. So let's look at what this is doing here. You can see here that it has different tasks. I guess you will ask me for certain things. I don't know if it has all the information. So the way to edit an agent, so let's say we go to the dashboard, this is the CEO, I can see here all the recent issues, aka tasks that this agent is responsible for. You can notice that this task is assigned to the CMO, but for some reason I see it also in the CEO. So it's almost like the CEO is responsible for that task eventually. So you can see recent issues. We can see them here as well. So in the CEO, we have the dashboard. Then we have the instructions. So of course you can change any of that. You can add more files here to train it. This is your part to kind of like train these agents, and you have to also put the necessary time into it. Here we have the skills. We have the configuration. You can add title. You can add more key abilities here, the adapter type, permission and configuration. Here you can add different variables, keys. For example, if there's an agent that is working within a software, you can add the API from that software and it will do everything. It can check that. We can see the runs here that the CEO did. I can see here everything. You see the board has approved. The board is us. Has approved the CMO hire. I need to check the approval status, all of that, break the YouTube content roadmap into concrete tasks. Let me get the approval details first. So you see everything is happening here. And then we have the budget. You can see what has been spent here for the agent. So if I go to the CMO, let's see what this guy is doing here. Your mission, skills, configuration, runs, define YouTube content strategy and content pillars. Apparently this is done. I don't know, new warehouse. Okay, this is like a random business. I don't know what it's doing here. But you can see and you can change that. You can tweak all of that, of course. So you can edit the document and you can change the strategy. If you already have like these sort of documents already, that's even better because you can add as much stuff as you like. Now let's try something else. So I'm gonna give a task to the CEO. I'm gonna say hire a computer research agent. This agent will check YouTube for competitor channels and get their viral content and rate of growth to give to the ideation agent, which we don't have yet. So I'm gonna give this task to the CEO, project onboarding. So my guess is that it will give the task to the CMO and it will go from there. And then I'll give another task and I'll say hire a content ideation agent for YouTube content, and I'm gonna give this again to the CEO and CMO. So let's do that, and I'm gonna create this issue. So we have these two tasks. You see here we have two tasks that are running: hire a competitor research agent and hire a content ideation agent. So we will see these things that will appear, I guess, under the CMO. Okay, so you see the first one that is here, and I will have to approve it. So it's here already, so I can approve this hire. and I think we have the other one as well, or not yet. And if I go to the costs, I see here that we're good on that end. We can see the tokens that we have used. Ideation agent, we can see here that this task is running. So this is running, it worked. So now it's processing that. Let's go back. Here we have competitor research agent. So this, what is the status of this? It's in review. Oh yeah, because I have to approve it. You can see here it says key abilities, monitor YouTube for competitor channels, tracks viral content, performance, all of that. Again, you can edit as much as you want here. Let me approve this agent. Okay, content ideation specialist. This is also ready. So let's look at it. We have generates creative video ideas, research trending topics, analyze competitor content. We can see all the details here, and of course we can add more. Because remember, we can configure every agent separately. So if I approve it and I go to the org chart, we can see here under the CMO we have competitor researcher and content ideation agent. Okay, so I can see here the CEO commented and updated. There are some things that are happening here. Dashboard. Let's look at which task was it. I think it was this one. So I can see here the process, like the thinking that it's doing. So here unblocked. Key baseline targets 50% average view duration. 4-week content colors now unblocked. So I guess something was blocked, and then CMO status in progress done. Channel strategy complete. Publish the full YouTube channel strategy. Content pillars as documented. So we can see things happening here, and the CMO is working on these tasks. And let's put this new hires to work as well. So I'm gonna go here, create an issue. Let's do find the top 5 competitors in our industry on YouTube and analyze their last 30-day content. Let's try giving that to competitor researcher, and let's see what happens. Create issue. So if I go here and I click on this task, okay, I see this task here, no description, and here it's running. So it will start checking variables, looking at the skills, tool search. So my guess is it will ask for some kind of YouTube API, because there's nothing there yet. So I don't know how we'll search anything without any API. And let's look at this agent, the competitor researcher, to see what it's doing here. So it's working. Now I'm checking what these channels have posted. Never stop tracking. I think it's searching the channels already. Okay, so it's fetching the channels on YouTube. We'll see how accurate it is. Now, while these agents are working, I want to show you that you can add more companies here on the left side by clicking here, the plus button, and you go again into the onboarding. So you can add as many as you want. Here I have some things that I experimented myself. And I want to show you here how I used I think it's the Chief Revenue Officer. And I gave it my Instantly API, and you can see here, for example, this one I believe it is. I said like, okay, draft a new campaign in Instantly, and I want your help to add the Greek leads to it. So it said like, okay, I don't have the API. I gave it the Google Sheet access, the Million Verifier API, my Instantly API key. I gave it everything, and I said, okay, give the task to the CRO. He has access to these things. And then somewhere here it says that the CRO doesn't have access to any of that. And here's another thing also. So it says load the Google Sheet export and filtered the company country, verified emails with Million Verifier, 10 emails invalid removed, and they were uploaded to the Instantly campaign that I have. So this is pretty cool, I think, that because I said look for these leads in the Google Sheet that I have, pass them through Million Verifier to see which emails are valid, and then add them to the campaign that I have, and also change the name, the first name from English to Greek, so because the campaign is in Greek. So this is what it did. And from there, I gave it the campaign ID, some things that were going on here, but this worked, and I really liked the part that I was able to do that. Now let's go back here, and now, as I said before, all of these things run locally, right, in the terminal. So if I go here, I can still see things that are happening here in the terminal everywhere. So the way to put this in the cloud, if you want to, okay, is you can use the Paperclip cloud. It's a different, there's like a subscription here, I guess. I haven't done it myself, to be honest. I saw it, that there is such a thing that you can put this in the cloud, but I haven't done it myself, so you can look it up if you want for yourself. And there's some sort of subscription, which I'm not sure about. But yeah, you can, if you want, add it to the cloud for yourself. So it's always running. Now let's see what it did here, if it's still working. So we have this task. I can see here it's still, okay, found some things. I have sufficient research gathered, and let me compile the full analysis and update the Paperclip issue. Okay, so I can see some channels here. Now we will validate together how accurate this is. Let's look at what it did. So we have industry, freight, dispatching, tracking, logistics, training. I don't know how it came up with it. I'm completely unfamiliar with this industry. But anyways, we have period analyzed March 19th to April 18th. So this is the last month. Today is April 18th. So methodology, web research via search engines, channel metadata aggregators, and direct source verification. So let's look at these channels and see how accurate this is. Tracking made successful. Okay, this is a valid channel. It says 136,000 subscribers, and this one had 142. Okay, that's not very accurate, but it's close enough. Founded January 2020. Content cadence 2 to 4 videos per week, market updates plus commentary, monetization dispatching course, $160 per year, tracking company management course. Okay, it's like it's selling courses apparently. So we'll not now get into much detail here, but yeah, there are different courses here. 30-day content themes, like what's kind of like what kind of content it's posting. Let's look at another one, Dispatch Training Center. This one has 123,000 subscribers, and here, did it give the subscribers? I don't see subscribers. 30-day content themes. This is the content I posted. Obviously, you can give it more stuff. Here we have Never Stop, TRK, 41.3 thousand, 40.6, super close. Who is the creator? Website. So there are a lot of things here that it did. Let's look at one more. Let's look at this one. Okay, so we have 6.2 thousand track dispatcher training. And here we have almost 7,000 on YouTube. And we have languages, we have training format, content. So, okay, so it did some things here. And like imagine if you had like a dashboard that you had for yourself and there was some sort of API that you can connect it. Then you can see all these things visually. But again, here I think sky is the limit. But like I said in the beginning, you have to be very mindful about what, to what extent it makes sense for you to use it, and you have to go in very clear on what you want to achieve. Because right now for me here, I'm recording like a demo for YouTube, so I'm basically doing random stuff here with a random company that I don't know anything about. So you can, but I want to show you like how it works. Like you give tasks, there are specific things to do. It has goals, and you can see here you have different skills. This is like company level skills, and here you can have skills for each agent. So to summarize, I think that Paperclip is a very promising tool that it might be worth exploring further, but be very careful not to be super distracted and trying to make this work. So it's almost like you are forcing something to work completely like 100%, but I don't think it's there yet. It can do certain tasks, but what I've come to realize is that the more clear you are about your business process already, the more useful any AI tool is. So don't expect for any AI tool or software or anything like that to solve your issues about what's your strategy and your marketing and your ICP and your pricing structure and like your processes and all of that. because the only way for this to hypothetically do it is if you give it enough information for it to do it. And probably, I guess, you don't have information yourself as well. Now, that was everything about this video, and I want to give you a big reminder here that with whatever tool you're using, you have to always keep in mind and stay focused and remember that the goal is to provide value to the other end of your business, which is your clients. Now, definitely, I think that there's potential here, and maybe this is the future, who knows, but I don't think that we're completely there yet, but it's worth like testing it to see what you can automate of certain things that you can do, and it's worth experimenting a little bit with it to see what it can actually do. Because here I just did some demo, right, with a test company and test goals and all of that, but if you are very specific with what you're doing, keep that in mind. The more clear you are with the process that you're following already, the better you will be able to use this tool and any other tool for that matter. I hope that was helpful and insightful. If it was, give it a like and subscribe because it helps me a ton to keep creating videos like these, and I'll see you in the next one.